At 2,000 meters, the mountains of Tierra del Fuego loom over Ushuaia, the southernmost city in the world, poised on the tip of South America. Ushuaia, founded as a penal colony in 1848 and hailed as the end of the world for many years, has become a bustling port of departure for most expedition cruises to the Antarctic. In the harbour, the MS Sea Spirit awaits its new passengers. This luxury vessel accommodates a mere 100, an unusually small number for a business usually oriented to masses. There's time for a stroll around Ushuaia. Once a stigma, being at the end of the world, is now what gives it its special appeal.
Salgo a caminar por la cintura cósmica del sur. Piso la región más vegetal del viento y de la luz. Siento al caminar toda la piel de América en mi piel y anda en mi sangre un río que libera en mi voz su caudal.
It's 6 p.m. and the Sea Spirit is departing on schedule. Ushuaia and the entire South American continent vanish from view as the ship heads out to sea with the water of the Beagle Channel, named after Charles Darwin's famous research ship, foaming at the stern as it goes. For the Sea Spirit and her passengers alike, this is the beginning of a great Antarctic adventure. The next morning, the open waters of the South Atlantic entice the amateur photographers on board. Albatrosses, Cape petrels and South Polar skuas circle the ship, accompanying it for hours. Inside the ship, the other passengers are having a look around. The Sea Spirit combines expedition flair with cruise liner comfort. All 54 cabins are small suites, which are roomy and cosy alike. They serve as bedrooms and private refuges, and many have an excellent view. The spirit of adventure announces itself at the latest the first time the group goes ashore. Despite the rather rough conditions, the expedition team keeps the passengers safe while they are in the boats and on the beach, encountering the fantastic landscape of the sub-Antarctic Falkland Islands for the first time. Other spots, like Devil's Nose, can only be reached on foot. The short hike is worth it, though. There is no other way to get so close to the large brownish-black albatrosses and their yearlings. These elegant birds live here together with rockhopper penguins, which call attention to themselves with their yellow decorative plume and constant chatter. Breeding together with the albatrosses has advantages for the rockhopper penguins, for no turkey buzzards or other predators from above dare enter the skies they command. It soon becomes evident what special opportunities small ships offer. After their first experiences with nature in these parts, the passengers of the Sea Spirit are invited to tea on the farmstead of the Napier family. Homemade biscuits and typical English scones are served. In the Napier's living room and in the small, well-kept garden, a source of great pride for the large family. On board the Sea Spirit, you can see how well the crew attends to the individual wishes of the passengers. As on many expedition cruise liners, you can visit the bridge at any time, but where else do the captain and his officers devote so much time to conversing with their passengers? They can expect individual attention in the library too. A small group of Swiss passengers has asked expedition leader Jan Breeder to help them find out more about their impressions of nature. Naturally, Jan is glad to do so, also taking the chance to prepare the passengers for the next destination on their great Antarctic voyage, South Georgia. The island, which is surrounded by high peaks and wild glaciers, is a dream destination for all journeyers to the Antarctic. It is a unique natural paradise with thousands of species, but also a place steeped in history. Here you can really relive the dark days of whaling and whale capture settlements. Fur seals were also hunted intensively. Less than 50 years after the discovery of South Georgia, these wonderful animals were almost extinct. Whalers, mostly from Norway, caught and slaughtered 175,000 whales within only 3 years. That makes 160 per day. It is important to call this aspect of the Antarctic into mind too. While taking in the idyllic view of Gold Harbour, one tends to forget how close the Antarctic was to becoming the victim of human greed. If scientists, conservationists and tour organisers had not worked together to ensure that the strict regulations governing the end of the world are complied with, this paradise would have long ago been destroyed. The passengers of the Sea Spirit are amazed to see what efforts the expedition team must often make to find a landing place which is not inhabited by too many seals and penguins. There are spots in Gold Harbour where passengers come so close to the mighty sea elephants that the team must ask them to keep a safe distance. 15 meters at least. Even from this distance, the display of strength put on by the young bulls, the fierceness and power of these heavyweight animals is truly tangible. Every time they go ashore, the passengers can spend lots of time out in nature, and here the compact design of the ship, built in 1991, proves to be an asset as well. With 12 spacious Zodiacs on board, landings can be executed in no time. Besides, the passengers can all disembark at the same time, which is not possible on larger ships.
Poseidon Expeditions has for many years been a member of IATO, the official organization for the protection of the Antarctic. Our expeditions into the Antarctic all comply with their rules and regulations and with the respect towards nature this implies. We have a very distinguished team of lecturers who are passionate in sharing their experiences with our guests. It is of great importance to us that our guests feel welcomed and at home with us, and that they feel inspired by the fantastic scenery they witness.
After leaving the Falklands and South Georgia behind, the Sea Spirit awaits her longest voyage, 1,500 nautical miles through the Southern Ocean to the Weddell Sea and the Antarctic Peninsula. But it's never dull on board. Interesting lectures are held in German and English every day, which cover various aspects of the Antarctic's history, geology, and the flora and fauna yet to be seen, facilitated by in-ear translation. There is lots to discover on deck as well. days at sea are also a good time to indulge. The fine restaurant shines with special dishes like rack of lamb in red wine sauce, lobster in garlic cream sauce, and for dessert, amaretto cheesecake with vanilla froth. The deeper our ship ventures into the wilderness of the Antarctic Peninsula, the more breathtaking the landscape becomes, and the more exciting the daily encounters with its fauna. Droll gentoos present themselves to the passengers as another type of Antarctic survival artist. These penguins are found at quite southern latitudes, and they're clever in using man-made structures for protection, like this abandoned Chilean research station. Among their kind, they are some of the fastest swimmers, reaching speeds of up to 36 kilometers an hour while hunting in the underwater world. But here they're merely enjoying a refreshing bath to clean their soiled plumage after finishing a meal of krill. Such experiences on remote coasts in the impressive Antarctic landscape are the best form of environmental protection. People who experience this are much more likely to support the cause of nature than those who merely read about it in newspapers or scientific reports. No one who's seen this wilderness remains untouched by it. The direct contact to its flora and fauna effects a change in every visitor. Maybe just a bit, but enough to set a person thinking. After each Antarctic adventure, the sea spirit returns home with the new Antarctic ambassadors on board, so to speak. Extensive cruising in the seaworthy Zodiacs allows passengers to experience nature close up and in its purest form. But needless to say, only as close as safety regulations allow. These images show that we get close enough. It is truly adventuresome to pass so many bizarre icebergs and carefully approach seals and penguins. There's plenty of time to watch them and take photographs. This bay in particular is a true animal paradise. Almost none of the larger floes are uninhabited. And suddenly, farther out, whales. For almost half an hour, we follow a group of humpback whales repeatedly coming up for air. Our patience and caution are rewarded. In front of the boat, next to us, two giants surface, flaunting their flukes. The image every photographer longs for. After such experiences, food tastes best in the open air. Whenever possible, the restaurant team serves meals on the large Lido deck, where diners relish the view of glaciers and snow-topped mountain ranges. Many savor the passing evening, staying on deck as long as possible. But then Martin beckons, along with the music and warmth of the small bar. It's not chic and luxurious, but cozy and familiar. Friendships have been forged here which have outlasted the voyage. And those who still haven't seen enough of the Antarctic rejoice, for Captain Peter Glushka has set course for the Neumeier Channel. In the dusk, our ship passes slowly and almost inaudibly through the frozen sea, and we notice that we have long since fallen in love with this mysterious seventh continent, the Antarctic.